So after a short amount of respite in the release schedule for Kill Team, we are very soon going to be back there because we've had 2 new releases announced today. So in a similar direction to what they've moved for Warcry, they have decided to split this current season for Kill Team. They're splitting the boxes so as you get a terrain set and you get another box that has got 2 Kill Teams in it, plus a small amount of terrain. So I actually quite like this for this season of Kill Team. I wasn't a fan of it in Warcry because we already know from that perspective that the contents of the Warcry Warband box makes a lot of reference and rules reference to what is in the terrain pack, which is being sold separately. So I don't like that for Warcry, although I believe what they're doing here with Kill Team is going to be slightly different. So let's have a look at the differences. First of all, let's feast our eyes on Bheta-Decima. So this is the terrain set. So the setting is basically that from the previous season, the Gallowdark crashed onto an alien spaceship, and it's basically an ocean world, which is covered in a lot of this kind of Mechanicus type terrain. Now, don't go too over the top with this image. Don't think about it that much, because a lot of what you can see in terms of red platforms that you see here is actually the floor of the game board. There's a double-sided game board which comes with this set. But there's a decent amount of terrain, and it's all kind of platforms. Very similar stuff has been released before. So anyone who is a terrain collector and has a lot of the Sector Mechanicus stuff, you will have very similar type of terrain already. Now, while lots of the sprues in this set will be, I'm sure, kind of repurposed older terrain and that kind of thing, there is some new stuff here. So the scatter stuff that you see on here is new. So yeah, it's not old stuff, and the game board itself looks very, very nice. But yeah, certainly not all of it is new. This is the view of the alternate side of the map. Now, I'm not particularly happy that this has been separated, so you've got the 2 boxes, because I collect everything for Kill Team anyway, so it's just more expense for me. But to be fair, this is very similar to stuff that we've had in the past, so I can understand why lots of people might not feel the need to buy this and just want to get the new Kill Team box, the Salvation box, which we'll talk about in a minute because it does have its own scattered terrain. Now, the main thing that breaks up the difference between this and Warcry for me is that in Warcry you get the battlefield plan cards, and the cards in that box, in the new Warcry box, they reference terrain from the new terrain set. So although they'd separated it out of the previous boxes, so at any time you would have bought it in the season previous, you would have got all of that stuff together. Now that is separate, and you have to buy it to get the most out of the Kill Teams box. You have to get the terrain in order to kind of complete your gameplay possibilities from that box. That I don't think is going to be the case here. So let's get into the Kill Team Salvation box. So basically, 2 Kill Teams in here, and plus a small amount of terrain. We basically get a brand new set of Striking Scorpions, and we get a brand new set of the Space Marine Scouts. Now, if we take a look at the Scout squad, we can see obviously there is a huge array of different weapons and that kind of thing available here. Now, I believe this, along with the Striking Scorpions as well, is taking a minor departure away from the normal Kill Team way of doing things. I think that all of the models here are built from just what the sprues, the actual Scout Squad sprues will be, with Kill Team you normally get a small sprue of optional extras, which will allow you to customize a normal squad of any type into a Kill Team squad with its own specialisms and that kind of thing. I don't believe that is the case here. I believe that you just get the straight squad and the straight Striking Scorpion squad as well, without any extras. And here are those Striking Scorpions. So what you can see here is basically the Striking Scorpions are usually a squad of 5. So what we get in this box is 2 squads of 5. You can tell that these are kind of the same, because if you look on the bases, they are all kind of, you get 2 different types of each one. So for example, if you look at the guy right in the middle top, and then look at the guy at the furthermost left, you can see that it is the same base. You can see that leg propped up there, and you can see the same thing with all the other bases. So yes, it's definitely 2 separate squads of 5. And what we can also see is that there isn't a massive amount of difference in terms of the weaponry that's being held by these guys. So yeah, no Kill Team Specialism sprue in this one, but it is a very, very versatile box anyway. So you will be able to get as much out of this as you would from any other Kill Team, I assume. What will also feature in this box, other than the Salvation rig equipment, which we'll have a look at in a second, but there'll also be the Kill Team Salvation book. That will include all of the rules for the new season, like the Salvation rig equipment, all of the rules and stats for our 2 kill teams in the book as well. Yeah, so that will feature as well. But then obviously we have the Salvation rig equipment, and so basically that is going to be referenced in the books. All of the rules that are in there will lean towards this. And what I really, really, really hope this does is I hope this makes it almost impossible to have a whole bunch of references for the new terrain set in the book that goes along with this set. I really hope that there's no rules for that terrain in this book, because then it will feel like you've got an incomplete set or an incomplete product, because you'll need to go out and buy terrain for it. Obviously that doesn't matter if you intend to buy the terrain as well, but like I mentioned previously, a lot of that terrain we have seen before, the vast majority of it. And everything except for the small amount of scatter terrain that's in there, we have already seen before. So I'm kind of umming and ahhing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. So I could potentially probably just jump on eBay and buy that double-sided board and use the terrain that I've already got to use for my Kill Team games. So I've got a lot of scatter terrain previously, and I've got all of a massive amount of Sector Mechanica stuff. So I will probably do that. Having said that, the new terrain that comes in the Salvation box does look really cool. All this stuff looks really cool. It is very, very in keeping with what we've seen from the Into the Dark season. So, you know, maybe a little bit less specialism terrain than what we got in the Into the Dark season. But yeah, certainly quite in keeping with it. It all looks pretty good anyway. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It's the best way you can support the channel. And yeah, I will see you all early next week. Take care.